welcome to another Mumdays video. This week I am absolutely thrilled to say that I have teamed up with Aden and Anais. I love Aden and Anais to bits. In fact, you can see how much I love them by the fact that they sent me some products to use in this video, and this isn't including the stuff that I put up in the loft, because we've got loads of like muslins and swaddles and stuff up there for the next baby whenever they come. No, I'm not pregnant. This is not a pregnancy announcement, although they seem to be coming thick and fast from everyone these days. This is just everything else that is in our wardrobe. So these like all sleeping bags, blankets, swaddles still, just stuff that's still being used now, and literally that is probably a third of the stuff that I've used with the boys. So just making my point there that I really do love this brand. So today they have asked me to talk about a few mum adventures that I've encountered with the boys. I'll warn you from the start, there's going to be poo chat, sick chat. You know, I don't think any of a list of mum adventures can be complete without those two topics in there. But obviously there'll be some really tender moments as well. But I just want to warn you in case you really don't like that stuff. A friend of mine brought Aden and Anais to my attention when I was heavily pregnant with Buzz. I was at the point where we left it really late actually to start buying anything for Buzz. I had a miscarriage before Buzz came along, and it just felt like for me the right thing to do was to just wait as long as I could before I started getting all my bits together. So a friend of mine, she said Aden and Anais to me, and I made a note of that, and I went home and I googled them and I found their website, which I absolutely adore, found that they were Australian, loved them even more, and then came the choice. There was a choice. I didn't know whether Buzz was going to be a girl or a boy, so I literally bought a pack of 4 that were stars, and I thought that's good, and I got some muslins to go with it, and I can remember them arriving, and they were actually the first thing that I had washed for Buzz, you know, with my non-bio detergent, all nice and gentle for the baby, and I can remember hanging them up and just getting this feeling of it being very, very real. You know, obviously I had this massive bump by that point, but actually preparing for the baby in a way that wasn't just my body. Yeah, it was a very strange feeling. I think, oh, I've still got the yellow stars here. So this is one of them, but I think I took to the hospital with me an orange one. I took an orange one to the hospital with me. Going through a really orange phase actually at the time, and I don't know why. I can remember the pram that we got as well was in bright orange, and actually when the pram got delivered, I was wearing orange. Buzz was a very orange pregnancy. I wonder if that means anything. Anyway, so and actually our first video, so in the bump to Buzz video, when I carried Buzz in at the end, he's actually wearing one of these swaddles. For me, these are newborn stage, and they bring back loads of happy memories. That being said, they also bring back the whole thing of swaddling. I mean, I practiced on numerous teddies before Buzz arrived, and I can remember doing it at home for the first time and not really knowing how tight I could go, how loose I should make it. I quickly learned if it was too loose that he would just completely wriggle out of it, and that was useless. But I found a weight that was comfortable for him. But that being said, there'd always be one arm, we called it the arm of defiance, that would just kind of get out. So, you know, he'd be nice and snug with his swaddled around him, and literally within 5 minutes his arm would be out of that. But that's how he was comfortable sleeping, so we kind of just had to go with it and know that that was his thing. I mean, at the end of the day, I sleep with one leg out of the bed, you know, always, no matter what time of year it is, so who am I to judge if he wants a free arm? Eventually I decided it was time to move on from the swaddle, so we got a sleeping bag, and actually what was really nice about that is that we knew who we were buying for this time, so we could literally pick things out for him. I had a lot of fun doing that, but ironically or weirdly, I stuck with the stars. I got, there were these big blue stars, which actually, is that one there? It's that one there. You can't really see, you can see they're just poking out, but he's actually still in stars now. Look, how funny is that? He's still in stars. Well, this is Buddy. Buddy's in stars at the moment, so I've obviously got a thing about stars, but it's nighttime, isn't it? Nighttime stars. I think this might actually be Buzz's. Quite likely. Poor Buddy, second hand. I'm the second child. I always get hand-me-downs. But both boys, as soon as they got into a sleeping bag, they just love it. They love being able to move their arms around. Their arms are both free. For Buzz, that was like, whoa, double arm balance. His legs could be moving around. Yeah, and it feels like a real moment actually, them going from swaddling to an actual sleeping bag. I mean, I can remember calling Buzz a newborn for about 6 months, to the point where Tom had to go to me, he's not a newborn anymore. I was like, oh yeah, okay. Oh. But yeah, I guess sleeping bags make them feel a little bit more grown up. And at night time now, you know, we put Buddy in his little sleeping bag, and he just knows that's bedtime. And he's so easy actually to put down at night now. Me and Tom were talking about it the other day. At this age, Buzz was not easy at all. We'd just come back from Australia, and he wanted us in his room all the time. Whereas Buddy, we do our normal sleep routine of like a bath, stories, milk, brush our teeth, and then literally we get Buddy in his sleeping bag, give him his teddy, put him in his bed, and he's fine. He doesn't need us in the room. He just kind of rolls over and gets on with it, which is incredible when you think about how different it was with Buzz. So yeah, that's a mum adventure in itself, I think. Sleeping. Almost unhysterically there, that laugh, because I do feel like that time with Buzz was quite it was quite something. So to all the mums out there who are getting sleep because their child just, you know, don't like sleep or can't get off, you know, don't worry, you'll get through it. My whole thing at the time actually was that they won't get to 18 and not be sleeping, or they probably won't be sleeping. In fact, they'll be going out, but that's a different problem. Don't worry about it. Let's just say they won't get to 6 and not be sleeping. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. One thing I actually don't have, I don't have out still, is muslin squares, because I am over the muslin phase. But I don't know, I've not got any here, but they're basically about, I'm sure most of you know what muslin is, but they're literally like a third of the size of a swaddle blanket, and maybe even small, maybe a quarter. And I literally could not leave a room, I couldn't leave a room, couldn't go out without at least 3 muslin squares with me. And I think a large reason for that was because I was breastfeeding, and they were just the most handy things ever. I mean, first of all, they collect snot, dribble, anything that shouldn't be, any liquid that's leaking from anyone in the house, it's fine. It's there to mop up. But I found that with breastfeeding, I was literally just leaking everywhere. TMI for those who don't want to know. And I literally, whatever I was wearing, it would just get completely and utterly soaked. So I would literally tuck in, I'd fold up my muslin and tuck it in because the bra would come down, my boob would be out. So tuck it in my bra bit of elastic, and then whip out afterwards and just add it to the wash, add it to the pile of milk sodden clothes. I just don't think I appreciated how invaluable they were actually going to be. Yeah, I just thought, oh, they're pretty things to put in my bag, I'll never actually use them. No, that's not the case at all. Yeah, I'm all about a muslin. I just think they are genius. I think we probably all need to introduce them to our adult life. I think it would make everything a lot easier. I also had that thing actually when we went out anywhere, that I was a bit worried about where to put the boys down, like if we were out for a picnic, or you know, if we just decided to sit down at the park, or even some baby groups, I would say. There's his first child, second child, I'm like, oh, he's fine. Buzz brings everything home from nursery. Buddy's fine to get poorly. But just to make the floor comfortable, the ground comfortable, I would always put like a little, like a swaddle out or something just for them to play on. And also, I guess, in my mind, it gave them a little play area, which is probably just more for me. It just makes it nice and pretty, doesn't it? Instagrammable, an Instagrammable square. But in all seriousness, I know that if we're somewhere and on a hot day they were always with me, they'd get really hot and they'd get sticky and miserable. So being able to put them on the floor, something that I know that they were safe and comfortable is the main thing. You know, not getting a face full of mud or grass or something. It just made a lot of difference, so I could sort of put them down next to me and know they were absolutely fine. We went to Italy when Buzz was 5 months old, and then Australia when he was 10.5 months old. And one thing I was paranoid about both trips was the sun. I mean, I'm paranoid about the sun here anyway, but I was just worried about overheating and the sun being on them. So one thing I did used to do was I used to take a swaddle blanket and I used to knot it around the pram. So knotting it so that it was still breezy and that there was still airflow getting in and out. I mean, we were always in the shade, to be fair, the majority of the time, whenever we could be. But if you're walking around places, you know what it's like. You've got to walk. You've got to actually go places as a mum. You can't stay in one spot forever. So that was always really, really handy. Likewise, whenever we've gone for walks and stuff, and you know, I'm just not sure if there's a slight chill in the air. I'm awful when it comes to temperature gauging. I am absolutely awful. I think breastfeeding has screwed up my life when it comes to this, because I cannot tell when it's really hot or really cold, because the mum sweats are just there. So I get a little bit paranoid and have to kind of take their lead, and well, I preempt and then see where I'm at with that. So with a swaddle, I would again take it out with me and just have it, if I was carrying Buzz or Buddy in the carrier, just have it there so I can just kind of tuck it in around them and keep their little tootsies warm and stuff. And in fact, one day, I can remember when Buzz was really young, we went to LA with him, and the only thing that I had with me was a swaddle. I decided to not take any spare clothes. I had a nappy and some wipes, but I did not take any spare clothes. We were only going out for lunch up the road. I thought, you know, what's the worst that can happen? Quite a lot, actually. At that lunch, Buzz decided to have, well, his poor body decided to just do the biggest explosive poo that has ever existed, and it got onto every single item of clothing that he was wearing, including my top, and I had nothing to put him in. So I wrapped him up in a swaddle, which was very, very funny. And lastly, maybe the most poignant memories of the boys was bringing them home. The day that we brought them both home. I can remember both times being left on the ward while Tom went and got the car, and having the boys in their car seat and putting their little blanket over them. Orange for Buzz. Buzz wore orange stars and Buddy actually wore green stars. And just that feeling of, this is it. This is our life really about to start. We are leaving this hospital, this safe place, and now this little child, this little newborn, is going to be completely our responsibility. Really magical, really special. I don't think there's quite a feeling like it. And now they're big. They're very, very big. Gosh. Wow. This has got me really emotional looking back at a few of our memories together. But I know that we have so many more memories to make ahead of us. Oh, I'm gonna go before I start weeping in your faces. But love you all lots, and I shall speak to you very, very soon. Bye.
We are here on this very earth to love and to be loved.